Hello students, I hope you are all keeping well. Same with your family. Um, Fine. In the last year, we have studied regarding human body, its function. It's We are studying in the subject called as the biochemistry regarding various biological substances such as glucose, proteins, fatty acids. So all this will be released from the organs that you know, released from the tissues. So if you take ATP, a simple ATP. So how ATP is produced? By aerobic respiration by mitochondria. So how ATP is utilized for glucose breakdown? All that you are studied in biochemistry. So in this year I will be handling your subject called as pathophysiology. Don't worry, your life won't be a patho, it's very interesting subject. So the subject deals with how a disease condition is causing a certain change in the biological activity of an organ, and what are the morphological changes, or how the changes in the organ happens in the presence of the disease. So various things we'll be studying. So first we'll discuss regarding what is a pathophysiology. So the term pathophysiology or pathology is derived from two Greek words. The one is a pathos means suffering. So you tell, my life has become patho means my life is full of suffering. Okay, so suffering means pathos, logos means study. So here you'll be studying about a suffering. Don't think you are studying about yourself, you are suffering about yourself with this subject. No, you are studying about certain uh, diseases or disorders. So you have to differentiate between what is a disease and what is a disorder. So the term disease means which happens for a small amount of time, which persists for a small amount of time, or you can call it as acute. Acute means, what is acute means small amount of time, which is a chronic, which happens for a longer amount of time. So now, if you take an example of a simple fever, the fever you only know it is a pyrogenic, caused by a pyrogenic virus, that is influenza virus. So amount of neutrophils will go up. As a result, the body will become heated up. So body temperature will rise, and the pyrogens will later be removed out, or because of the body physiological you can tell it as a immunological activity. Due to the immune system, body immune system, these pyrogens are later removed off, and that causes the decrease in the body temperature. Okay, so now you have to know. So pathology is a scientific study of structural and functional changes in the body, or in the cells, or a tissues, or a organs of a body that occurs during a disease. So in the presence of a disease, how these structural and functional changes happens inside a cell, a tissue, or an organ, that is called as pathology. And this subject mainly deals with, gives an insight on the following four aspects of the disease. First one is etiology. So now, don't tell it as a cause. We call this as etiology. So now, if you take an example of a simple fever, that is a flu. So how flu is caused? Due to the influenza virus that causes the increase in the body temperature. So now the etiology is influenza virus. And now, if you take an example of running asthma. So how this asthma is caused? Again, due to the allergens, due to the smoke, due to the, if you are having certain if you take food substances, so food habits, I mean prawns, or certain injections such as the penicillins. So penicillins also causes the allergies. So asthma is nothing but a kind of a allergy where there is a bronchoconstriction, difficulty in breathing. Bronchoconstriction is mainly due to the we call it as the allergic mediators. So we'll be studying more about this in next chapter, that is inflammation, where you'll come to know. So this allergic mediators, what it will do is inside the body it causes the inflammation. So now, so what causes this asthma? So what are the etiologies? Means we can take example of this uh, food substances or certain injections or drugs or environmental substances such as the hay fever that is mainly caused by the pollen grains. All these you can take it as an example for etiology. So the term etiology means the cause of a disease. So how disease is caused and what are the agents that causes a disease. So that thing you are calling it as etiology. You can write it as Aetiology, or you can write it as simply as Etilogy, etiology. Next one is pathogenesis. So what is a pathology? You are studying about a disease in the body. So now what is pathogenesis is how this disease is caused. So that means the mechanism of this development of a disease is called as pathogenesis. Genesis means working, or mechanism is called as, we are calling it as pathogenesis. So next one is morphological changes. Morphological means it can be both microscopical or macroscopical changes, that is structural modification in the cell or a tissue or an organ is brought out by the disease is called as morphological changes. So if you take example of asthma, so what happens is in the lamina propria, okay, the lamina propria mainly in the bronchi there is a region, that is the layer of a bronchi, it contains a region called as the lamina propria where there is accumulation of this allergic mediator that causes the inflammation in that region, that causes the bronchoconstriction. Okay, so that is, if you take, if you see that properly, the tissue, if you take, cut off that tissue, and if you see under the microscope you will come to know that there is certain changes happened in that region. It may be if you just check, uh, leave about that, okay, leave about that, you can scratch your hand, just scratch your hand, what will happen, there is a redness, you can see the line due to the scratching, and that lines causes swelling, there is a redness, heat is generated, all these things you can call it as a morphological changes, that is structural modification. So structural modification means if you scratch you can see the redness, you can see the burning, you can feel that inflammation in that region, all these are structural changes happening in that region. So clinical significance, the effect though these morphological changes that would have on the functional ability of a cells or organs. So same thing, example asthma, if there is a bronchoconstriction, what will happen, difficulty in breathing, so functionality is impaired. So normally there is a bronchi which will be at the normal state, but asthma there is still constriction, there is a change in the function, that means breathing difficulty. So this is called as the clinical significance. Lesions, so what is a lesion is, these are the characteristic changes seen in the tissues and the cells due to the disease. Lesions means something like a lumps you can find over the tissues or a cells, you can find a lesions, you can call it as a lesions. Morphology, so it may be study of macroscopical or microscopical structures changes in the tissues, same thing, these morphological changes and morphology is same. Symptoms, what happens if there is a bronchoconstriction, so asthma same thing, there is a difficulty in breathing, so this is difficulty in breathing mainly during the night time if there is a cold climate, there is difficulty in breathing. So again, these are the symptoms. So I hope you understood what is a pathology, what is a etiology, what is the cause of a disease, what is pathogenesis, what is morphology, what is clinical significance, what is lesions, what is the symptoms. Everything we have studied. Now let's go to the next chapter, next topic, that is introduction. So already we studied about so many definitions. Now first will the first chapter, that is a very important chapter. Mainly you can expect some 10 to 15 marks question in this chapter, that is called as a cell injury. One thing I'll tell you, there are three chapters you have to study properly. One is a cell injury, one is next inflammation, the next chapter I will be discussing later, that is hypersensitivity. So all these chapters, and one more is the cancer and certain diseases are there. I will tell which are important. If you study all those, 100% you can expect passing mark. You can easily pass in the exam if you study this chapter and two more chapters. If you study it properly, you can expect a hell lot of question out of this. You can expect more and more questions. You can take a 10 marks question from this chapter, inflammation chapter or cancer chapter. 100% this question will be repeating now and then. Okay, so a very important chapter, that is the cell injury. Cell injury, the name itself will tell cell is undergoing injury. So nowadays it has become a fashion. They'll take a knife, they'll cut, they'll scratch the hand, and they'll upload. So I have lost so and so thing in life. So it is also an injury. Then burning your hand is an injury. Eating spicy thing, if you are eating not spicy or hot and spicy, if you are taking an example of a soup, if you are drinking a soup now, it's already cold out here, where it's cold, you are drinking a soup, a hot bowl, a bowl of a soup, a hot soup, you'll sip it, what will happen? There is slight burning, because if you are drinking hot, there is a burning, again that is an injury. Then if you are slapping someone, of course he'll slap you back, that is secondary. What will happen? There is an injury. Injury means redness, burning, so and so. So again this is an injury. And one more thing, daily you are having a bath, I hope so you are all having. So if you are having a bath daily, what will happen? You will you'll lose lot of cells. So daily you will be losing lot of cells, and cells again are reborn. So there is a layer called as in the skin, that is germinatium, stratum germinatium layer or stratum basal layer, which helps in the growth of the cell. That means more cells can be grown from that region. Okay, so cell injury, again some there are two types, reversible and irreversible. Mainly these, the cell injury is of two types, it is reversible and irreversible. So what is a reversible means? Which is reversible. Cell injury, once it is happening, which can be reversed back. So if the cell, and if you take an example of a normal cell, it has been injured, so next thing, that normal cell which has been undergone the injury can be regained back to its normal structure or normal function. That is called as a reversible injury. Whereas the irreversible injury, where the cell, once it lost its function, once it is undergone the cell injury, it cannot be reborn. That means it cannot be brought down to its normal state. So that is a type of a cell injury. So there are two types, you have to remember that, reversible, irreversible. We will be studying more regarding this topic later on. So cell injury, what is it? It is defined as the variety of stress a cell encounters as a result of the changes in internal and external environment. So if there is a changes in external and internal environment, what are the changes happening inside? I mean, what are the changes and how the cell will encounter the stress is called as injury. Okay, it's called as a cell injury. So the person called as Virchow, the Virchow, has given one theory of disease that is called as Virchow's cellular theory of disease. Disease can occur due to the abnormalities at the level of cells. So if there is an injury, of course there is a cause of a disease. So cellular response to the stress may vary and depends upon the following: the type of a cell and its tissue involved, and next one is the extent and the type of the cell injury, and what is the extent, for how much amount the injury happening, and type of a cell that is injured, type of a cell or a tissues that has gone in the undergone injury. Next one is for how much time the cell has been undergone the injury, is said as the is given by this person, that is Virchow's cellular theory of disease. So next, so already we have studied regarding what is a cell injury. Now next topic is regarding the etiology. So what is the term etiology? We have already studied etiology means a cause of a disease. So now suppose if you are taking an example of a cell injury, what are their etiologies? So one is genetical causes. So due to the error in morphogenesis. Morphogenesis means cellular, genetic, genetic changes or the defects you can call. Next one is cytogenic, that is chromosomal defects. Single gene defect, that is if there is a mutation in single gene that can cause a cell injury. Then multifunctional inheritance disease, that is mainly the sickle cell anemia you can call. So multifunctional inheritance disease, that can be inheritance means which from parents to the offspring they are being inherited. So such a kind of a disease that can cause an injury to the cell from one person to the another, that is called as multifactorial, multifactorial inheritance. I'm sorry, I told multifunctional, it's not multifunctional, it is a multifactorial inheritance. So first one is the genetic causes, mainly the developmental defects, mainly due to the changes in the the errors in the morphogenesis. So morphogenesis means the development of the chromosomes or genes or DNA replication, all these things. If there is certain changes or defects. Next one is the chromosomal defect. The next one is single gene defect, mainly the changes in the single gene, mainly you can call it as the mutation. The next one is multifactorial inheritance, mainly that is inherited from parents to offspring. There is certain changes that happening inside the cell that can cause the cell injury. So next one is acquired. So later on, so these are genetic, which happens inside in the level of genes. Acquired means which is acquired later. One is hypoxia and ischemia. So that we are, I guess so we have already studied regarding this term called as hypo means less, oxia means oxygen. So lesser amount of oxygen in the blood is called as hypoxia, whereas ischemia means the level of oxygen supplied to the organs will decrease. That is called as ischemia. So next one is physical agents, various physical agents. It can be a radiation, it can be a trauma, it can be heat, so many things. Chemical agents and drug, various acids or alkalis or certain heavy metals we can take. Microbial agents, mainly the viruses or fungi, coronavirus. So immunological agents, mainly due to the immune system, in the immune system, mainly you can take it as an example called as the arthritis. What happens in the arthritis? Rheumatoid arthritis. It is like your own body immune system will act over your tissues, that causes a inflammation, cell injury. tissues of the joints will be injured. Okay. So next one is nutrition dearrangements, mainly due to the nutritional changes, aging, psychogenic diseases, mainly psychological, uh, latrogenic, I mean iatrogenic factors. Next one is idiopathic. Idiopathic means unknown. You can call it as unknown. Okay. So we'll discuss regarding the acquired. First one is the physical agents such as trauma. Trauma means accident. Heat, that is same thing. You are burning your tongue if you are drinking a hot soup. Cold, due to the lowering of the temperature. Radiation mainly due to the various ionizing radiation which will generate certain ions inside your body. That means certain changes in the ions that can cause the cell injury. Electric shock, that is electrical trauma you can call, that can cause the cell injury. So next one is the physical agents. I forgot to tell you regarding, we'll discuss about this later, no problem. So physical agents and drugs, mainly the endogenous products such as the urea. Okay, urea. Exogenic agents, therapeutic drugs such as the hormones, non-therapeutic agents such as lead or alcohol, mercury, and give the example of cadmium as well, which is a heavy metal. You can take it as an example, not a problem. So free radical initiation, mainly due to the absorption of energy, that is UV rays and X rays. Oxidative metabolic reactions, mainly the oxidation and reductional reactions happens inside the body. Enzymatic conversion of exogenous chemicals such as CCl4, that is carbon tetrachloride, into the chloroform. So chloroform, again, it will damage your body tissues. So carbon tetrachloride, first being industrial chemical, what happens to it is, once you are taking it inside, it will be converted to its active metabolite. So this active metabolite which bring about the cell injury. Okay. So next one is oxygen derived radicals such as superoxide and peroxides. Example, hydrogen peroxide, then OH minus, that is hydroxyl ions. Superoxide is given as O2 dot. Okay, O2 dot. So all these agents. Next one is oxygen deprivation, that is due to the lack of the oxygen. Hypoxia, that is hypoxia. Next one is ischemia, loss of blood supply. So hypoxia, hypo means less, oxia means oxygen. So less amount of oxygen in the blood is called as hypoxia, whereas ischemia is lack of oxygen supply to the tissues, that is lack of blood supply to the tissues. In the sense, oxygen supply is decreased and the cell will undergo cell injury, and later on there is a death of the cells. So inadequate oxygen, mainly cardiorespiratory failure. You can take the example of myocardial infarction or a heart attack. Mainly this condition happens if there is a fatty deposition in the walls of the arteries or arterioles. Arteries, it is called as atherosclerosis, whereas arteriosclerosis means in the arterioles there is a formation of the cholesterol deposition or the fatty plaques we can call. Or sometimes what happens is a blood clot. So if there is a blood clot in the the capillaries, the blood supply to the organs will decrease, and as a result there is a death of the organs. Mainly if this will happen in case of brain hemorrhage. Brain hemorrhage, mainly there is a hemorrhage of the brain, that is the blood will be oozing out of the brain. As a result, these small capillaries, there is a leakage. So once there is a rupture of this capillary, there is the formation of small we can call it as the clot. So clot in the blood vessel, and this clot along with the blood will be traveled to the various small capillaries. Okay, small microvasculature, small capillaries it will move and it will block it. In certain region of that, I mean the certain capillaries it will block, and the blood supplied to that region where this capillary is present is lacked, and as a result there is cell injury. So same with the myocardial infarction or a heart attack, the blood supplied to the certain organs of or the tissues of the heart, that is myocardium, is failed. You know, there is a myocardium is supplied with the a blood supply that is called as the myocardial artery or myocardial vein, or coronary, we can call coronary artery, coronary veins. In the coronary artery, later on it will subdivide into small capillaries, and that capillaries will supply the oxygen to the myocardium. And if these capillaries get blocked by due to the presence of these fatty plaques, so that condition we are calling it as myocardial infarction. Example is ischemia. Blood supply is lacked, there is a cell injury. Hypoxic injury, lack of oxidative phosphorylation and ATP generation by mitochondria. So oxidative phosphorylation means there is a aerobic respiration. You have to remember one thing, that is aerobic respiration produces more amount of ATP when you are comparing with the anaerobic respiration, where ATP produced is very less. Oxidative phosphorylation, more ATP is produced, but lack of oxidative phosphorylation, there is a production of lactic acid. If there is anaerobic respiration, there is a production of lactic acid that causes pain. Same thing if you are taking an example of exercise. If you are doing exercise, live about exercise. I know nobody does. If you are playing a shuttle, after long years, what will happen? You are playing a shuttle, you are swinging your hand to hit the racket. So what will happen the next day? You can't move your hand properly due to the pain. So there is something called as a cramp. That means how this is. So the amount of stress in that region or over the hand, you are stressing it more and more, and it requires more and more amount of ATP. So ATP generated is not enough for the stress, and the body tend to produce more ATP by undergoing the anaerobic respiration. Okay, that causes the pain. That means acidosis we are calling, or pain we are calling, or a cramp. So next one is decreased ATP with the increase in the AMP. So AMP is increased where ATP is decreased. So stimulating fructokinase and phosphorylation, resulting in aerobic glycolysis. Depleted glycogen, reduce intracellular pH, that is lactic acid and inorganic phosphate, clumping of chromatin. So just you have to remember what are the causes, what causes hypoxic injury: lack of oxygen, lack of ATP generation. So all this condition, that is a glycogen depletion, aerobic glycolysis, all these things. I think resulting in anaerobic glycolysis. Okay, just make it as anaerobic, not aerobic, anaerobic. So I'll make a correction. Wait. So this thing we have already discussed regarding the pH, physical agents, chemical agents. You can add it here as alkalis, acids, and free radicals initiation. So next one is certain infectious agents such as the viruses, Rickettsia. Rickets means Rickettsia is a gram-negative bacteria found in ticks, lice, fleas, and mites. So bacteria, fungi, and parasites. So abnormal immunological reaction, that is same thing I told. The immune processes is normally protective by its but in certain circumstances reaction may become dearranged, that is under certain stress or certain um, changes the normal activity is lost, immunological activity is lost, and body may produce more and more immune, or the body will show the hypersensitivity. So the hypersensitivity means allergic. Anaphylaxis is also allergic. That is hypersensitivity to agents. So, some persons are allergic to certain food substances. Take an example of a prawn. So you all have a prawn. So what is a prawn? Lobster is a bigger one. Prawn, the smaller one. Okay. So the prawn, if you are having, some person will be having this allergic response, and certain drugs like penicillin. So some people are allergic to penicillin. So what happens if they take it? What will happen is the body will show the redness, heating, itchiness, all these things. That is the hypersensitivity. That means some people are allergic to certain things. Anaphylaxis means allergic reaction. Hypersensitivity means they are highly sensitive to certain substances that can lead to the allergic responses, or more localized regions such as asthma, that is swelling you can find in the bronchi, that is mainly due to the hypersensitivity. Again, the certain region is affected, mainly if you are taking about the bronchi. In the bronchi there is a region called as the lamina propria region, which is affected more. So how this is affected? Mainly due to the presence of the this allergic mediators. So these allergic mediators mainly they will come and attaches, I mean they will accumulate in the region of the lamina propria, and that causes swelling, that causes the difficulty in breathing, that is due to the inflammation in that region. So again this is a hypersensitivity. So localized means in that region it is present. So lesion means inflammation. I told there are lumps or inflamed region you can find in asthma. In other circumstances, the immune process may act against the body. You can call it as autoimmunity. Same example is rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is a autoimmune disease. Okay, cystic fibrosis as well. Cystic fibrosis. Then what is cystic fibrosis? Try to search what it is. Cystic fibrosis, that is one kind of the autoimmunity, rheumatoid arthritis, all these things. Nutritional imbalances, so diet changes that can lead. Protein calorie deficiency are the example. Vitamin deficiency, or sometimes if we are taking excess of the nutrition, very fat fellow, very rich fat, so that person can show some injury. Excess calories and diet rich in animal fat are strongly implicated in development of atherosclerosis. That means it contains higher amount of cholesterol. If you are having more and more amount of the cholesterol or dalda, I mean palm oil, dalda, everything which is rich in even the ghee is rich in the animal fat. If you are consuming more and more, what will happen? Of course, there is cell injury. How? Mainly due to the deposition of the cholesterol in the walls of the blood vessel. There is a damage to the heart. Obesity alone leads to the increased vulnerability to various disease. If you are more obese, of course there is a atherosclerosis, coronary heart disease, BP, high BP, that is you can call it as hypertension, hyper, and the person will be more angry, more weight, more angriness, because you are teasing him, dumma dumma dumma. If you are making fun of him, of course he will be very angry. So diseases like diabetes mellitus, So diabetes mellitus. What is diabetes mellitus? There are two types, 1 and 2. Type 1 DM and type 2 DM. So it is due to the lack of the insulin. So insulin produced by the pancreas is lost, that is decreased. So glycolysis won't happen. Glucose in the blood will increase, and as a result there is a excess glucose in the blood as well, and in the glucose in the glucose urea you can call. So check, see, so that is why we are always be tense about the nutrition. You have to become slim. Of course I am very slim, even though if I am having more and more food, I'm very thin. Don't know why. God's gift. Of course even you are, some are very thin, it's a God gift. So no need of getting tense. But if you are fat, try to reduce the weight. How? By controlling the diet, or else there may be a lot of problems like this in the future. So be careful with this. Sometimes what happens is it may be um, from parents, genetic. Okay, so it will be inherited from the parent. Sometimes that will be the case, but try to reduce. Okay, try to reduce the weight. It is good for you, or else it is very problematic later on. So pathogenesis will be discussing future classes. So aging, programmed aging, that is aging will happen. If more the aging, more the loss of memory, more the loss of sight, body functionality is lost. Finally the person will die because of aging. So programmed aging, where there is after is defined number of division, cell undergoes termination differentiation. That means cell division is slowly lost. So development of increased population of cells irreversibly committed to senescence and death. That means the cell division is lost. The number of cell death is more compared to number of cell growth. Increased susceptibility to somatic mutation and building up of errors in the eventual error catastrophe. That is mainly there is a some error in your not in your in the age patient, there is a error in the genes, that is mutation is lost. There may be more chances of getting hypertension and the cancer due to the mutation as the age goes on. Liver damage, pancreatic damage, gastrointestinal problem, and bowel problem, so many things will happen. DNA faulty repair mechanism, one that can cause the DNA in the cell. So this is all for today. So I hope this class has done well. So these are all regarding the etiologies. So what causes a disease, what is the various definitions we have studied. Next we have studied about the introduction regarding the cell injury, so many things. Next we went to the etiology, what are the causes in detail. Okay, so in the next class we'll be discussing about pathogenesis of cell injury. Okay, so what are the pathogenesis means the mechanism of cell injury, that we'll be studying in the next class. Thank you. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. You can write it in a chat, or you can ask me in the WhatsApp, no issue. It's better to ask in the chat itself, so it will be helpful for everyone. Everyone will come to know what is the doubt you are having, and it can be sorted out easily. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day.